Hi, this is Bhavna and you're watching India Today. Well, today I have one of the most talented actors that we have in our industry. Raashi Khanna joins me, who you will be watching in 120 Bahadur, which releases this week. Firstly, a huge welcome.
Hello, thank you
How
so much.
are you?
Thank you, I'm good.
I watched the film this week itself, loved it. I think you bring a certain nuance to the character because although it's there for a very small time on screen, it does leave an impact. But tell me, how do you choose these projects, Raashi? Because ये पहला project नहीं है जहाँ पे you have chosen the character over screen time. I've seen that you do that with a lot of films wherein your character actually stands out and you don't really care about the screen time. How?
I think, because I've been part of films where I've been there throughout and it has made no impact because sometimes because of the writing, the way the character is written or drawn. So you don't get anything from those films and it doesn't feel very satisfying to me as an actor. But sometimes even in a film when a part is really strong, you feel very satiated as an actor because you know you can do a lot more with it and it will leave an impact. One, because of the way it's written and because of the clarity of the director, and obviously then you bring your own craft to it.
Correct.
So for me, the duration clearly does not matter. It does not matter how many people are in the film. What matters is what my role is and is it making an impact.
Yeah. But where did that shift come from? Because see, when you're entering the industry, everyone is always hungry to get the best roles, projects which are safer in conventional terms. When did that shift happen for you where you were like, you know what, I'm done playing safe or I don't want to play safe?
You know, honestly, today we don't even know what is safe anymore.
That's true.
You know, that's the whole problem because you don't know what films are working, what films are not working, what is it that people really want. I think we are in a confused place today.
Yeah.
I think that is why it's the best time to experiment and to just go crazy on whatever that you want to do and see what the audience will like. You know, sometimes they don't like what is safe and maybe a good film, but they are characters they've seen before or they don't connect to the emotion.
Correct.
There's so many different reasons, but I think as an actor, it's a very fascinating time because you can experiment and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
If you ask me about the shift that has happened, I've always been hungry for great roles. I love doing commercial films also, but obviously the actor in you is not satisfied with just that. I think I've just been very lucky, if I can say that I got Farzi because that changed a lot for me.
Right.
It was a non-glamour role with meat in it and that is where people started seeing, okay, even in that space if she can perform. Because I was also, when Farzi released, I was like, all these big actors, I'm like this, you know, new and I don't know if I'll make a mark and you know, I always felt like I had to come up to expectations if there were any. And people did love me in that show. So I was like, okay, maybe I've done something right and I should pick out roles that have an impact more than just the
Absolutely. And I think
space.
Farzi kind of made everyone notice the actor in you. Not that they didn't before, but you know, it's always...
No, they didn't before.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I think especially in Hindi, they didn't know. Of course, because
makes
Farzi was
sense,
like the first thing that they saw of me. Even in the South, when I was doing commercial films, Farzi was a show that made them sit up and say, oh, okay, non-glamour is also good. You know, so they also started taking me a little more seriously.
Did it ever frustrate you when people, you know, because it is frustrating when you know what you're capable of and when people can't see it and you don't know how to prove it to them except for the work that you're getting and you're doing?
I think I've realized a way out of it because today I tell my managers, if there is a role and okay, the director wants someone else, let me test for it.
Okay.
If, let's say, if it's a completely grey shade where they say, oh, she's too innocent to play it, let me audition for it. If they say that, oh, we don't see it in her at all, then I'll be convinced, okay, fine. But at least give me that shot or get me that audition.
But does getting that audition, is that also a challenge? Because preconceived notion, it's difficult to fight that. It's difficult to tell people that, hey, give that one chance. We are not asking you to give her the role, but even that could be difficult.
Yeah, it is. Sometimes they're very clear about who they want. Then it's fine, you can't do anything about it. But somewhere when it's open, then I tell them, okay, just make sure I audition for it. I'm not saying give me the role. I'm saying just let me audition for it. And if you then think that I am not the part, I'll be okay with it. You know, and because I'm so used to rejection. We as actors are so used to rejection. And that also shows you where you are, you know, how hard you have to work. Because as an actor, you should be able to get into the skin of every character.
Yeah. But Rashi, it's so difficult for me to believe or to just believe, in fact, because in the South, in fact, when you made your debut, even in South, the films that you've been part of, the actors that you've worked with, are all like A-list actors, if I may say. Even despite all that, was it difficult for you to pitch yourself in a position or put yourself in a position where even getting that one audition was slightly challenging?
See, in South they don't audition.
Okay,
मतलब वहाँ पे तो नहीं है ये option कि आप audition करके दे दो.
अच्छा.
It's the faith that they'll have in you that maybe she'll be able to pull it off.
Right.
Some people have that. So they will still give you an opportunity and say, okay, ma'am, we have something different for you. Do you want to try it?
Okay.
That is still there. I'm talking about the North. Because right now they haven't yet stereotyped me. We'll know in some, let's say, 10 films that I do if I have been or I have been.
Yeah. You won't be. Look at the projects that you're doing, the characters that you're playing.
That's why
it's like ek mein you're being a Rajasthani and suddenly you're like a Punjabi and then a Bengali. You're playing different shades. I don't think you're not giving them any reason to stereotype.
I'm very glad, but I think that's why I always told them. I said, just let me audition. Let's just let people see that what I'm capable of, because I think I can do better. So I'm blessed that way. So I'm hoping that 6-7 years down the line they will be okay with we can give this character to her.
I think you're still keeping it too far.
Really?
Yeah, times are changing so much, Raashi. I think one good project and it changes your fate. Like Farzi did it for you.
Yes.
And hopefully more and more projects that will really change that for you in the
crossed.
future. No, it will. I mean, see, good work always gets appreciated even though it takes time. Sometimes.
Yes.
It does.
Yes.
But tell me, like, because you mentioned how Farzi kind of changed the way people looked at you, but did it also change the way you looked at yourself as an actor? Because, somewhere deep down, you can do this. But having put in a position, because for an actress especially, to go de-glam on screen is, I believe, the biggest risk that they take.
I love being de-glam. I can't explain it to you. I love glamorous, I love looking pretty and all of that, but I love de-glam because that is where people will connect to you. They will probably aspire to be you when you're in a commercial film, but they will connect with you only when you're in a de-glam look.
Yeah.
Because they'll be like, oh, she's like us.
Yeah.
We relate to her. The way they write those characters is very different from the way they write commercial characters. And I have felt that, like, they will relate to all emotions more. Like, they'll relate to it more because they'll see themselves there.
Yeah.
In a commercial film, they won't see themselves there. They can aspire it, but they wouldn't. They are not that.
Absolutely. I mean, because when we see someone who's more relatable, we'll be like, "Ye to apni jaisi hai."
That's why I feel it's very important to balance both. Very few people get to do that also, I feel. But I love de-glam. I love being without makeup at home, and sometimes even at airports, I'm like, I don't care. It's fine. This is who I am. I love myself. This is how I am. Yeah.
But do your managers then tell you otherwise? Because at the end of the day, I mean, as an actor, people expect you to be a certain way.
See, I'm very self-aware. So I know places where it's required.
Yeah.
I know places where it's not required.
Yeah.
I don't diss it at all. I understand, okay, at events you have to be a certain way. You have to be like this glamour person. And in some places you just have to be yourself.
Yeah.
I don't take that pressure of dressing up too much. Because that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to act. I will act more. It bothers me when I have to consistently be in hair and makeup. Sometimes I'm like, I don't want it. I'll just do a blow dry. I don't want to put any makeup. I'll just be decent for you. But I think my managers also understand it today. And they're like, okay, till the time you're performing, we're okay with it.
I think it's also important to have the right people around you who understand you and then push you when they know that you can be pushed at this.
Yeah, I feel initially there'll be a lot of people who'll try to tell you things, who'll try to tell you this is what will work. I feel you should always listen to your gut because it'll always tell you what works for you.
True.
And I think from, at least when I was growing up, I don't know how, to the point of delusion, I believed I'll make it. Whatever that I do. And I knew when to say no.
Yeah.
Even if you'll pressure me, you'll try to give me some other actor's trajectory, I'll be like, no, but their journey will be different, mine is different. I want to be true to myself and I don't want to lose myself.
That's very interesting to me because, I feel like saying no in this industry is so important.
Yes.
Yet, a lot of people learn it after spending a lot of time in the industry. You said that you always had that thing, if I may say, audacity to say no.
Yes.
Because at some point, in the beginning at least, everyone would think of it as an audacity, right?
Yeah.
how do you battle or how do you challenge that notion? Because for you, you know that it's coming from a place where you know that I don't want to do this. And it's respectful, it's polite. I don't know how the other party takes it. Most of the time, a no is never really taken lightly.
But you know, that's not really my issue. It's more to do with the other person's ego. You know, if you're wise and if you're intelligent, you'll understand why a certain person is saying no.
True.
Is why I don't take rejection seriously at all. Because I'm like, okay, I understand where you are coming from. Maybe I am not there yet.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why you don't want me for whatever reason. I respect it. I'll never hate you for not making me a part of a project. I don't expect people to do the same that I do, but I operate from a certain frequency, you know, and I'm never going to change that. And I don't judge people at all. I'm like, okay, maybe this is hurting your ego, but that's who you are. That's your problem. That's not my problem.
Has it ever backfired? Because I see a lot of me in you, and I feel like it. You know, usually people will tell you, at least they tell me always, and listen, tone it down a little, maybe a bit.
Just be who you are, and I'll tell you why. Because it's so rare to find people who are who they are. And are not defined by others, because there'll be a lot of people who want to define you.
True.
You define who you are, and eventually they will respect you. They have no choice. They'll want to be you. They will want to be able to say no, and they'll be jealous that, oh, I can't do that, but she can do it. Is why they'll try to put you down. See, it's this whole psychology, and that's why I think it's a very pure thing if you can be who you are.
Yeah, true.
And if people don't want you to be that, then let them not be in your life. That's fine. You know.
I love it. I love Raashi's energy.
Thank you.
And you are right. It's rare, especially for anyone in this industry who's thriving, and to be like this. I mean, it's. I genuinely.
You know, I also believe that whatever is meant for you will come
happen,
to you.
True.
If you're true to yourself, it's easier on your conscience. If you're not true to yourself, it's gonna be chaos. You'll still get it.
Yeah.
But you'll not be at peace.
So what is it that can really make you tick off then? Because you're so clear-headed. You know, okay, fine. If I'm rejected for this, fine. Like, I know something better coming my way eventually, right? For someone who's so level-headed then, what really, like, then hurts you when it comes to the work part of things?
I think I'm beyond it. I'll tell you why. Because I've seen films fail. I've seen films work. Sometimes when films have worked, I've still sat at home waiting for films to happen. Sometimes when films have failed, I still have films to go for. So I understood that it's really not in my hand. I have to surrender, and I have to be in a peaceful mindset that, okay, be it success, be it failure, that shouldn't impact me. If I have reached my audience, that should be my validation. That's how I roll. Like, that's how I work. You started out with saying what? I think I lost my chain of thought.
No, I was just saying that how to be this person and what can really like hurt you. Because when you're so impenetrable...
Nothing. You know, the only thing that can actually hurt me, work-wise, nothing will hurt me. But personally, I feel that very few people I expect anything from. I just want them to be around me. You know, like my parents, my brother, my best friends. There are very few people I expect from. I don't have any expectations from the industry because I know it's cutthroat, it's business. You can't expect. Where you expect, you'll get hurt. So I don't really get hurt.
So are you also one of those people who wants to keep this work side completely just business? Because, you know, people say that it's difficult to make friends in this industry.
There are no friends or enemies in the industry. You know, I mean, people who have grown up in the industry, maybe they'll have friends. But for us outsiders, I don't think there are friends or enemies. It's just work related, and that's how I always keep it. Like, even with my co-stars, it's great when you're working together. You may stay in touch, you may not stay in touch because everyone's busy. But I don't seek friendship there. You know, because I have a solid background, like with my friends. So I don't seek it there. I go do my work. I quietly go back home. That's it.
Are they your sounding board as well? Your friends, your family?
Yes, and they are my biggest critics as well. Like, when they watch it, they'll never give me that flowery opinion. Oh, you're so good. They'll be like, this you could have done better. Isme aisa kyun kiya? Your voice was like this. Or you know that. And I look for that because I want criticism. I want constructive criticism. I'll not like someone if they're completely always saying good things about me. I'll be like, I'm never going to grow there.
That's true.
I'm only going to grow when someone's throwing dirt at me, which is my family. You know?
And also, you wouldn't take it personally. You know, when a stranger says it, it sometimes kind of hurts a little. But I think when the family says it, you know, it's coming from a place of good intention.
Yes.
Well, what did they say? Okay, let me put it like this. Which was that one performance of yours which they thought that was exceptional according to them?
Because I'll tell you, there was this film called Supreme that released. I play a comedy kind of cop in it. They had seen intense scenes and all. One after Madras Cafe, they couldn't believe I could act because they were like, huh? Like, there's no background. We never thought you didn't want to be an actor. What is this? So they saw that potential and they were very proud of it. I mean, I surprised myself. Yeah. And then I surprised myself in Supreme because there's a comic angle to that character and nobody expected comedy out of me. I also didn't. And when I'm watching it and my parents are watching it and they're like, how did you do this? And we love this performance of yours because we laughed also, we had fun also, and I think that was one performance that they really liked. Yeah. And after that was Toli Prema for them and also Exuvis Bahadur.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they were like, okay, whatever your role was, we felt it.
Because you've always been part of projects which has been helped and which has had like alpha energy as well, right? And yet you stood your ground in all these projects. Is that the way you look at projects as well, wherein one, I feel that you don't get intimidated, which is very, very important and which most people do, especially if you're new in the industry. How did that happen, and does the fact that you don't get intimidated work in your favor or against? Because I think some men expect, or at least some people, especially when they are at a position, they expect you to feel a bit intimidated.
Honestly, I don't think about what the other person's thinking. I think that's the way I lead my life because I'm not hurting anyone. I just do my work. I see it as my work. I go in thinking, okay, I have to give it my best. If I get intimidated, then I'm compromising my craft.
True.
So I don't let that come in. Even if it's there slightly, I try to push it away. Except when I worked with Pawan Kalyan sir, I had that. I was intimidated by his aura. Otherwise, I don't get intimidated. And I think that's a strength.
Yeah.
How the other person takes it, again, if it is their ego, it is their problem. I am not disrespecting them.
Yeah.
I am being who I am. And honestly, whoever I have worked with, eventually over time understands that she doesn't care about anything. She cares about her craft.
Has it ever happened though that someone has misunderstood you because you have this no-nonsense attitude, okay? Which is great, but it is also the most easily misunderstood trait in people.
They might think I'm arrogant. They might think I think too highly of myself. But when they work with me and they see the discipline that I bring in, because I am very disciplined, the way I talk about the character, the way I give in my inputs, however, I know eventually it turns into respect. And none of my actors has ever felt that, oh, ye badi egoistic, I don't like her. That has never happened. They may be intimidated in the beginning. They get intimidated by me. I don't know why.
No, because strong, no-nonsense women, they come across as intimidating.
But then again, I don't think we should apologize for that.
Of
because
course,
our intention is not wrong. And they need to understand it. And they do. When we, over the course of the film, they understand, okay, this is how it is. Maybe I respect it. Yeah.
But who's that one co-star that really taught you a bit about the grammar of acting or something that you picked from them because everyone has a body of work themselves, right? And some of them, like Prithviraj or Vijay, they've worked for like years and decades. And they have seen the industry change. They talk about it, I'm sure, with reverence. Is there I know it's too much of a task to ask, but has there been any of these conversations that you have had with them which changed your way of looking at things?
I mean, a lot of such conversations. When we speak about me wanting to say no to things, it started with John, and he told me, always learn to say no. And it was the beginning of my career. I'm very, very grateful for that advice. In terms of acting, I have seen them and I have evolved. Like Mohanlal sir can just switch in. Like if he's laughing right now and you say action there and he has to cry, he'll bring that tear, and I'm like, how is it possible? Like, how do you do that? Now I know those techniques, now I work on those techniques, but initially my film school was the film set. So with Mohanlal sir, I mean, I've learned that a lot. Even with Prithvi sir, when I was working with him, I thought he would talk to me. Like, that's how I felt, But he was the sweetest eventually, that they all open up and you see how amazing they are at their craft. And one thing that's common in everything, every actor who's made it big, is their love for the craft and not seeking fame or money first. They'll be like, this is what we need to do. Fame and money are byproducts, they'll come. That cannot be your first want. If you want to be respected as an actor, you may go really far. Anyway, you may make a lot of money. People may really like you, but do they respect you? That is important.
True.
And that's very important for me.
Wow. How do we you then, Rashi? Because this industry, challenges this notion at every step that you're taking. Because fame is important as money at some
See,
point.
money is very important.
Yeah.
I don't know if fame is, but money is very important. It does give you a life that you'd rather cry in a comfortable bed.
Yeah, I always say that.
Yeah.
Like, see, if I have to cry, I would rather cry in a
Yeah,
luxurious
yeah,
car.
exactly.
Why do it like in train?
No, of course, that's
Yeah.
important. But I feel like if you love what you do, eventually money will come. You're giving it your all. If you're sleeping at night and you're thinking, did I give it my all today? If you have, eventually it'll come. It may frustrate you also, but it will come. And they should always be byproducts. And if you're only wanting fame, very easy, go on social media, do something. You'll get famous.
Yeah,
right?
true.
It's easy. Today it's very easy. There's nothing special in being famous today.
True.
So I don't
What
give-
makes you special is the craft
Yes.
and the discipline that you bring
So
to that.
anybody who wants to be an actor, focus on the craft. Yeah.
The most important thing to hear, because a lot of people are losing that focus, at least that is what I feel as an outsider watching all of this.
If you have to sustain 10 years into the industry, which we will probably have a conversation again, I know, then we'll talk, and I think by then we'll all understand that fame is easy. If you're good in your craft, you'll sustain. Otherwise, you will not get the respect of the audience.
Absolutely. Tell me a bit about Farzi too as well.
Yes.
There's so much more happening for you. Touch wood on
Yes,
that.
yes.
But so many different characters. But I want to start with Farzi too, because we spoke about how Farzi kind of changed the trajectory
yes.
for you. And now with Farzi too, how are we upping the game?
So Farzi 2 is starting in January. That's all I know. I am like the audience at this point. I don't know what happens with Megha and Sunny, whether Megha knows what Sunny has done, what he hasn't done. I'm very curious to know. And the last I spoke to Rajan DK sir, I know that they're working on the script, so they're going to tell us where it's heading. So January is when we start, and I'm very, very excited for that. I have to get back into that character again.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
But again, this is probably the first time that you're getting into a character continuing the same character
Yes,
for the first
yes,
time, right?
yes.
अभी तक start नहीं किया है, I know, but the thought of it, is it easier for you to switch on and off between characters like this?
Not really at this point. I think I'll have to revisit it again to see, okay, how was it written, what was demanded of it, and then rework on it. And I'm sure I'll come there.
Yeah.
But it'll take me time. That I
Take
know.
you a bit of
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
I also want to see where this entire trajectory grows now, because I know that Farzi really was one of the finest watch that we have seen in Indian, from Indian side at least. But again, many other projects coming in where
Yes.
you're playing like completely different shades. One, how do you work? Because tell me one thing, are you shooting 2 or 3 projects simultaneously, or are you completing one and then starting another?
No, I'm always in between 2, 3.
Then how do you switch on and off? Because all of these characters demand a different kind of Raashi.
Honestly, I don't want to get into Gyan, but meditation really helps me. Every time in the morning when I sit, I clear myself of what I have done yesterday. So I clear myself of that, and then I get into the newer energy.
Correct.
Because I do believe in energy, and it really helps me.
Energies are
yes.
like, you can sense it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think I've never felt that, oh my god, it's so difficult. Yesterday I was a Bengali, today I'm a Punjabi. How do I do it? I think I just look at it like I am so blessed to be doing this.
Yeah.
And it's not difficult.
Which is that one upcoming project of yours, which you think, जैसे फर्जी ने आपके लिए पूरी ट्रैजेक्टरी बदल दी थी, ये परफॉर्मेंस देख के people will be like, you know what, I never thought Raashi could do this.
Oh yeah, there is one coming. I mean, of course, the one with Vikrant, where I'm a Bengali woman. That will probably give me a little more respect as an actor. But something that will make you feel like, "Arey, this Raashi has done," is that show that I'm doing with Amazon, where I'm a Punjabi cop. I think I have surprised myself.
Really?
Because anger doesn't come and violence doesn't come very naturally to me, and that is a very aggressive
Role.
woman. And she really like just rattles you physically also, and I was like, oh my god, I don't know if I. So for me to bring that tone up consistently, stay in that tone with that accent was not easy at all. I don't know if it will work, not work, because sometimes when it's very different, it might not go down well also with people, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think today is the time when people are actually ready, as long as it's convincing on screen. I think they forget the actor and they remember the character, which is a great thing.
That's probably something that will
Yeah.
shake people and say, oh,
Because
this is
I
Raashi.
see that happening a lot, where like this happens with me also sometimes nowadays. When I'm watching a performance, it takes me a beat to realize, oh, this is that actor.
This is very strange, I have to tell you. So, during the music launch of XOB's Bahadur, Javed sir came and we greeted each other, and then he asked Shabani, who is she? Who had seen the film? Shabani's like, she's the wife. And he's like, huh? Because I was dressed up and all of that, right? And I'm just that D-glam person in the film. And then I went to him because I was like, was I so unimpactful that he didn't I went to him, I said, sir, it's me. He's like, yeah, Raashi. And I said, sir, no, you didn't recognize me outside. And he's like, but that's such a big compliment because I couldn't figure out that this girl is that girl who's in that film. And this happened to me on the screening also. Like 2-3 people came and they're like, oh, you're the girl. You know?
Because, but you know, that's a big compliment, Raashi. Because in today's time, if one could remember your character and then go and see who is this actor and be surprised, oh my god, I've watched her before. I think that's the best compliment.
There's one person who came and said, what is the other work that you have done? And I said, I was in Farzi.
Oh, you're
that girl. And I was like, I'm that girl. I was like, I'm very happy. Yeah, but it's
but you were also telling me that you also got one of the best compliments from Rekha ji.
Yes, she came out, she had tears in her eyes, and I asked her if I can give her a hug, and she's like, no, can I hug you? And I said, that is so sweet. And then she hugged me, and she had tears in her eyes, so we were trying to calm her down, and she said, you made me cry. And you know that end scene where the door opens and you know, you're holding your emotion. And she's like, it's so easy to like just let go there, but you held it. And I said, ma'am, but you know, that's what an army wife would do. She wouldn't show her emotion in front of another officer. She'd cry in closed doors, which she does. So she was very emotional and she kept holding my hand and saying how wonderful I was, which is amazing because I think when seniors like that give you that validation, you feel like, okay, maybe I'm on the right path.
You are. You know? Because I also want to talk about that scene. I feel that you held your own so well because I like that they decided to end the film with that, like eventually, because that's where you just get that goosebump because koi unke saath tha aakhri waqt pe, and then he just says,
just the perfect lines.
Hey, 120 Bahadur, and I think you did it very well.
Thank you.
But I'm also looking forward to more work from you because and I think you should do a bit more PR as well because that's where you're lacking. Because like you said, people know that you've done amazing work, but then they don't know it's you who has done that.
But you know, I feel like my work will speak anyway. And I think when you expose too much of yourself, why will they want to watch me if they're seeing me every day on their feed?
Yeah, that's also true.
I mean, you know, when earlier these actors were not accessible, those were the best times because I remember waiting to watch like these award functions to see their face, waiting to see events or films to come out, or waiting for magazines to read about them. Today it's also accessible. I'm like, why should I be interested in watching?
Yeah, you know, when they're having their coffee, when they are spending time with their pet, like, you know, everything.
I try to balance it because I do understand PR is important, so I go all out when a film is releasing. But I would really not like to expose myself so much just because I'm also kind of an introvert. And I don't think that gives you more work. It's just noise.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I don't want it.
Yeah.
I'd rather have someone watch a film and look at me and be like, who's this girl? And then be like, oh, I keep seeing her on social media. I saw her here also.
Yeah.
You know, just to leave a better impact. That's just
true.
What it is.
On a parting note now, I of course want to talk about your film with Pawan Kalyan because I feel that is again going to be a different turn in your trajectory. Also, I like that you're balancing. Like, you're doing enough work in Hindi cinema in up north, but also not leaving that.
I'm never leaving it.
Yeah, because it kind of gave you a lot of recognition and a lot of, I mean, the body of work that you have is also thanks to that, right? One, is that a conscious choice to balance both the careers?
It is a conscious choice.
And also tell me a bit about that film now.
So it's a full commercial film. It's the first film that I signed without reading the script because they told me it's Pawan Kalyan and I said, okay, let me just do this because since the beginning of my career, I was like, this is one person I want to work with.
Yeah.
So it's a full commercial film. There's a song, there's glamour. You can't expect acting too much there because just the looks and the genre does it by itself. I'm very excited for it also. because it sort of balances me. You know, let's say when they see a content-driven film and then they see me in a commercial thing, just it's the same girl.
Correct.
So for that, and I don't know when it's going to release, but I hope next year, beginning sometime.
Yeah, sometime that.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, Raashi.
Thank you.
I think I always look forward to the work that you do because, like you said, you challenge yourself, but you're also challenging us as an audience to. You're just like dare to stereotype me because I'm not going to give you that opportunity. But thank you so much and all the very best. Just keep being you because I genuinely saying it, it's rare.
Thank you.
And
You
rare,
too.
yeah, and rare things needs to be treasured.
Thank you so much. So sweet.
Thank you so
you.
much.
Thank you.